Hello and welcome to another outdoor shave with me, Tobin. Yep, that's me. That's what my mama says anyways. Today I'm up an old logging road that my daughter and I ventured up the other day on foot, and we found this. That's my water bottle. You never know what you're going to find in the forest in Oregon. From Sasquatch to old boats. 01 is the newest tag on this. So it was, in operation as recently as 2001. Judging by the road, no one has been up here in at least 10 years. Just going by the growth and whatnot. I'm no arborist or anything like that. But I have been coming out into the woods my entire life. And I know a traveled road when I see one. Don't know much about boats. This one here says Dorset. Yeah, Dorset, right? Been here a long time. I'm going to try and do my research and get a gear and all that jazz. Did find some other trash. I'll attach some photos of that. Talk about it when we get into the shave. I am way above where our cabin is. You can kind of see the river down through there. I'm about a 20-minute walk up the mountain from our cabin, and our cabin is already out in the middle of nowhere. Today my setup is over here. These little baby Douglas firs. Yeah. All right, welcome. So today thought it'd be fitting for me to bring out with me Sutton by First Line. I'll be using the matching splash. My bowl today will again be my collapsible Stirling bowl. My brush will be one of my favorite brushes from Bobby, and that is one of his brushes that he had with the Sutton series, and that is a Manchurian, lightly gelled. I think this is a V9. It might be the V8. I didn't really pay attention. I think, is he on V9 now? I don't know. It's the most recent one. Previous to that, I do have the ones before that. I think I liked this one better than the V8. Today I have a Tatra Platinum, and it will be going into my 1958 TV special, Gillette Super Speed. It's one of my favorite super speeds. I really like the knurling on it. Don't get me wrong, I like the knurling that's on the regular flare tip, and I think I like the aesthetics, the look of the regular flare more, but I like the feel of the knurling of the TV special in my hand. If you look closely, the knurling on the TV special is the same knurling that's on the 60s black handle flare tip. Two exceptions, of course, being that handle is aluminum, and they've coated it with the, oh man, drawing a brain fart. You know what it is. It'll come to me. Anodized, right? Yeah, I don't know. Check out my shirt. Got this a little while ago. Early birthday present. Had a friend of mine who follows me, my throwbacks account on Instagram. He was actually the best man at my wedding. And he's not a wet shaver. And he asked me, he's like, "You're really into this wet shaving, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you can say that. Yeah, I'm into it." And I could tell, he's giving me kind of a look, because like the shirt, no, it wasn't this shirt. It was one of my Phoenix shirts. And soap, a little thing right here, actually stuck my thumb in it a while back. It means it's dinner time. Hopefully I'm not dinner. Again today, Smiles for Miles. This is the only scoop I brought with me, so you might have seen it before if you've seen my previous videos, and it is a soft scoop. So yeah, like a big dummy, stuck my thumb in it. So I could tell, you know, he's the best man at my wedding. I was married almost 20 years ago. He and I have been friends since middle school, best friends since high school, and he lives up in Washington. Served this great country of ours for about 20 years and just retired recently. And so I could just tell from the look that he's kind of like thinking I'm a dork. I am. I'm a dork. I'm a freaking big old goober. He knows it. I know it. And you're probably starting to figure it out. The bird knows it. I am in cougar country, black bear country. If it's got 4 legs and lives in the forest in North America, I'm in its domain. I am prepared to defend myself. I'll just say that. And no, I won't be using my TV special. I will be using a special. A 38 special. So, gave me that look. You know, Toby, you're a dork. And I said to him, well, I got, you know, Marvel comic TV shirts. I got, you know, Oregon Duck shirts, lots of them. Star Wars shirts, got a handful of those. Duck and Beaver hats, got a handful of those. I told him, I never really thought anything of it. It's basically how the conversation goes. I'm paraphrasing. We ended up having, you know, we talked for hours about it when he was in town last. And I just never really thought anything of it, right? When you're into something, you kind of immerse yourself in it, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me. It's the way I've always been with Star Wars, Marvel comics. Not so much with DC, but definitely the Marvel universe, Star Wars, baseball teams, Seattle Mariners, New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't know. Are you like that? I'm telling you. Noble Otter's got some cool shirts. Look at that. It's Plunder. That sounds cool. My backdrop today, I was going to be up on Battle Rock is where I wanted to be today. We went down there and it was super windy. I went up on top. It's beautiful. At the very least, I'm going to end up putting lots of pictures on Instagram. I'm going to try and get down there tomorrow morning, Tuesday. Today's Monday. We leave town on Tuesday, but I'm going to try and get down there before we leave town and get up there and do a shave. So I'm hoping and praying for some calm winds, because it would be really fantastic to be able to share that place with you guys during a shave. Today's soap is Sutton from First Line, and it's my first ever soap set. Aha! Got a rubber band with me today. Other than the gray in my hair, it should match. Really need to get in the habit of putting them in my hair sooner. Yeah, I always look so damn cute with these. You agree, right? You're sitting there on your sofa right now, and you're going, Toby looks cute. It's okay. We're all thinking it. Don't get shy. Don't be blushing. You know, bring the color. You know, bring the blood back to your face. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel that way. It's really cute though. It's Toby out here in the middle of the woods with this freaking boat. My daughter and I were just walking through the forest. Just walking, and we come up on it. I was trying to think of some other crazy things that we found while traversing through the woods. All 3 of our kids have been heavily exposed to the wilderness. I don't know if they'd survive the apocalypse, but they could definitely survive a week or two in the forest, as long as it's not the dead of winter. But we never ran into a boat before. And not one that looks as cool as that one either. And that's just awesome, right? I'm amused by the little things. But I think that's a pretty cool thing right there. I think it looks pretty badass behind me in that camera. Looking at this phone. My last video, I kind of underdid the soap. I overdid the soap. The other day, I'm thinking I underdid it. Give me 1 minute here. I don't want to run too much video time. That bird's getting impatient. Give me a second here. Alright, I'm back. Bird got quiet. I don't think the bird is a fan of my videos. Or maybe it's just not a fan of me being in this forest. Excuse me, damn, I did that the other day. So this is my first Sutton set. And to be honest, I've used it 3 times, I think, before today. Maybe 4. 2, 3, 4. I think 3 sounds good. Let's go with 3. And so I'm still learning the base. And it's fantastic. I'm super impressed with the behavior of it. And I always knew I would be. With a lot of these soaps, it's nothing to do with me questioning whether or not they're going to perform. There's just so many different companies. You can't really buy them all and support the ones that you're in love with. And I definitely, since I started creating these videos, I've noticed that I've got my 5 companies. I kind of gone through a couple different stages of how I've done it. I've actually was looking back a while back, a couple months ago now, just before I started these videos, and I was noticing that I have kind of a pattern to my buying habits with soap and whatnot. When I first started out, you know, with the artisan soaps and stuff, when I switched from Perazzo and first started finding stuff, I kind of sat happy with what I had for quite some time. And then I bought everything in sight. And I slowed down a little bit and was just buying from the companies that I'd already purchased from. And then noticed I bought a whole bunch more of different things. And then I got into a pattern that I've been on recently, the last couple of years. And that's just buying from my companies I'm in love with, especially the main 4. Pinnacle Grooming was the newest one that came into that fold about 2 years ago now or something. But so here recently, since I started these videos, I branched out a little bit. Decided I was going to give some companies a go. Because I figured it's time. It's been a while since I experimented with companies. I figured it's time. And one of those was Moon Soaps. 6-8 weeks ago, I bought my first Moon Soap. And then typical Tobin wet shaving mentality. I bought tobacco flower first. And I enjoyed the scent. But the post-shave feel was phenomenal. And next thing you know, I got 3 of them. So now I got Old School, Sorrento, and tobacco flower. And I think I'm going to pick up either Union next or Trade Winds. Kind of on the fence with Union with the menthol. That was one of my old complaints with a couple of different companies that used to always add menthol to their stuff and no longer do. I don't know. I like the idea of being able to add menthol. I don't mind menthol, but I just don't like it messing with the fragrance. And that's really the only thing I'm not crazy about. So here we go, first pass, first line shave Sutton. It was the scent. Let me stand back a little bit. Get my mirrors here. This one could be a little higher. I got this little Douglas fir bouncing back and forth. So my understanding with the fragrance is that it was, the thought that they had in mind was a still, like a, a moonshine still, deep in the forest, the Carolina mountains, on like a cold day. It's definitely woody, spicy and masculine. The notes, I got them written down here in front of me. Oud, cedar, balsam, tobacco absolute, and cashmere. If there's anything coming up behind me that's like big, let me know. You're gonna let me know, right? Okay. I'm not here alone. It's just me, you, the beaver, and the otter. You ain't got my back. I know it right now. You're gonna cut and run. First squirrel that comes along, you're out of here. So I'm a fan of woodsy scents, as you might imagine. Maybe you've noticed with some of my soaps already. Not a fan of mosquitoes. But like I said in my most recent video from the beach the other day, not an outdoor shave unless I'm getting buzzed by something. That's just the way it goes in Oregon. Thankfully though, our bugs aren't too big. The critters are big. Most of the bugs aren't. So with oud, you kind of get that woodsy, masculine, earthy woodness to it. Or not so much the earthy. I think the earthy notes that I'm picking up come more from the cedar, which I'm a huge fan of cedar and oud. But I got, different pieces of furniture and just different things, that we use that are made of cedar. Because cedar, like Douglas fir and some other firs, are readily available. And so we get a lot of stuff with those woods. The balsam kind of adds, like the piney spiciness to it. When I smell this, I definitely think of the outdoors, like this kind of outdoors. It's great. I need to get the EDP. A buddy of mine has it, and he's always raving about it, telling me I need to get it. When I picked this up, I wanted to get it, but it was just too much coin for me to spend all at once. And so I held back, coming out of the holidays, and then Valentine's Day and the birthdays that we just celebrated with our daughter and our oldest son. Plus, it was a blind buy, to be perfectly honest. I knew I was going to like it just from the fragrance, just by the different things I read about it. And Bobby Moffett, owner of Sawdust Creation Studios, I spoke with him, and he was a huge fan of it. And the way that Bobby described it in one of his brush making videos had me sold, and I knew there was no doubt that I was going to love it. And when I first got it, I cracked open the tub, and I did. And then I put the splash on my arm. It's one of the things I like to do even after I shave. If I don't have a EDP or cologne that I'm going to put on after the shave, so I'll dump a little bit on my arm and do this kind of thing. Like actually when I took everything out of my backpack, I did that. Oh my God, you guys. Oh man, forgive me for saying that. That smells damn good. I don't know anything about a whiskey still, what they smell like, or when you're moonshining, the fragrances that it puts out. But this is definitely a great outdoorsy type scent. And the tobacco absolute and the cashmere. So like with tobacco, a lot of tobacco absolutes, I kind of pick up like, I don't know if it's like a leather, maybe a leather. And it doesn't, of course, smell anything like tobacco. When I first got into artisan soaps, my first experience with a tobacco fragrance was Cavendish from Phoenix. And I did a blind buy on it. I didn't get a sample. But when I first put my nose on it, it was nothing that I expected it to be. And for years, I dipped tobacco, Copenhagen, Kodiak, that kind of thing. And so, when you say tobacco, those are the kind of things that come to my mind. And I wasn't, big into the community back then, so I wasn't really talking to anybody. So when I first got that Cavendish, it was definitely an eye-opener. I was like, that doesn't smell like tobacco at all. What the hell? And I got to reading, of course. That inspired me to look even further into what I just bought. But I'd already been buying stuff from them, and knew that was going to be a good product, even if I didn't like the fragrance. But I immediately liked the fragrance, and since then I've fallen in love with tobacco fragrances. Like I was saying just a second ago, my first soap from Moon Soaps I picked up was their tobacco flower. And of course, nope, that doesn't smell anything like tobacco. Well, not like chewing tobacco. And so I kind of pick up, it's definitely masculine. I mean, if you're going to sum up Tabasco Absolute into one word, for me, masculine is definitely the first one to go with. But I think leather and earthy, spicy work well for me in describing it. And the cashmere usually produces like a muskiness to it. I kind of picked that up on the back end of it, which is where I think it's supposed to be. If you haven't smelled Sutton yet or tried Sutton, I do recommend it. I fell in love with it immediately. The post-shave feel from the first line, as I'm sure you guys all know, I'm usually the last one to a party. And I was definitely the last one to this first line party. I've got my eye on a few of their scents. The post-shave from this Sutton is exactly what you'd expect from a top tier rather, artisan. Like I said before, and I'll continue to say it, and I'll continue to preach it. All tier 1 soap companies are making a fantastic product. It's whether or not their marketing speaks to me. I'm going to be blunt and straightforward, right? As long as they're a small company, I'm eager to do business with them. I avoid companies like the Artist Shaving. The only thing I have of those guys is a travel brush that was given to me. And truth be told, it's a little badger brush. I've still never used it. It's in a little dram pill container with my other brushes. I just haven't had a use for it. It's not, I do intend to use it one day, otherwise I would have gotten rid of it, and it's a gift, but I've only had it a year or two. But it's Gillette. Gillette bought that company out a while back. I won't spend any of my money on them. I know people do, and I know they make a great product. A damn good product. I've read the reviews. And I actually had a sample of their sandalwood. And I shaved also with their lemon. Didn't buy it, right? But I have used their product. But with these tier 1 soap companies, they're all putting out a great product. And whether you realize it or not, these labels are a form of marketing. And for an outdoorsy guy like me, that's damn good marketing. Another layer of marketing is when these guys do collaborations. And again, I'll be straightforward and honest. Even this marketing alone wouldn't have been enough to get me to buy Sutton. Maybe it would have, right? Maybe if the right person would have told me. But as soon as Bobby Moffett was tied in with this, and I heard that Bobby was coming out with a brush line for the soap that was coming out with, first line, I thought, man, I got to check that out. So that was the piece of marketing, was Bobby. I bought me some Bobby. Bobby. Damn it, Bobby. How's that for a Hank Hill? That's pretty shitty, huh? There I go with another 4-letter word. So, that marketing, that comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes. I'm not talking commercials, okay, right? We haven't gotten there yet. Well, I guess we kind of have, right? I mean, when you see a sponsored, hell, I've done it on Instagram. That's marketing, right? I've paid to have some of my restoration posts sponsored. That's marketing. And I'm a man, so I'm a visual creature. If you make like the world's coolest label and a fragrance that I don't like, am I going to use it and, you know, continue to buy it? No. In fact, I have soaps like that probably in my den that I purchased and have a great label, but the product doesn't speak to me in other ways. Another great, you know, form of marketing is the small business and the people who are behind that business, because guys like me gravitate to that. It's kind of like you're shopping for a home and you write the homeowner a letter explaining to them why you want to buy that property. I'm trying to think of the name for that. They're actually trying to outlaw it right now in Oregon. That's what made me think of that. But that's, again, marketing. You're selling yourself. And you got to sell yourself every single day, even when you go to work, right? Hopefully you brush your teeth. Hopefully you go to work on Monday and you showered at least on Sunday. And hopefully when you go to work, you work hard. You're selling yourself. You're selling your time. And along with that time comes your image, and your work ethic is part of that whole piece of the puzzle. You can have a great work ethic, but if you're a douchebag, how, you know, worthwhile are you to the employer? You can have a crappy work ethic and be the nicest person, but how far is that going to get you? Am I rambling or am I making sense? I think I'm rambling, but maybe I'm not. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm really enjoying this shave, the quietness of this forest, while I whip up this soap a little bit for my cleanup. I'll just keep my mouth shut and stop the rambling. Step to the side maybe. In the distance I can hear a car going by. Pickup truck of some kind. All these tier 1 soap companies make an amazing product. And like I've said before, you know, I like to mix and match my stuff. So I want a deodorant, I want an EDTP cologne, something to wear after the shave that will carry the fragrance, because I like to match my fragrances. And so I don't know how many fragrances I have, you know, EDTs, EDPs, solid colognes. I have a top dresser drawer full of them, and I know it's somewhere around 50. Like I said before, I've got a problem, and you guys make me feel normal. That's why I love you all so much. Look at this soap. You got the bubbles are a little big. That's mostly my fault. Oh man. If you haven't tried Sutton, check it out. I can't recommend it enough. The fragrance really speaks to me, and I will end up picking up the EDP. I believe it's a EDP, I'm 99% sure. 60 bucks, and it's going to be worth every penny. I know it. And you can get that from Black Mountain, I believe Murphy and McNeil. I'll get those in the links too for the product and for the EDP. And then Bobby Moffat can be found on Etsy and on Instagram. And I'll include, yeah, and on Instagram, I said that right. I'll include those links below too. Also going to include some links of what I found, or links, some pictures, and maybe a short little video of what I found up behind you and what's in front of me. And while I'm still recording here, I'm going to take a little second to stand on my soapbox. If you're one of these people, let me back it up. I can't stand people who litter and people who go out into the forest and dump tons of trash. Is just freaking disgusting. And you'll see here in a minute where years ago somebody brought up an entire truckload of garbage. I'll include some pictures of this. This is a pretty old glass, and it's been up there a long time. The trash has been. I was looking at it 5, 10, 20 years. I don't know. I didn't look that closely at some of it, but it's been up here a long time, and it'll be up here for another 20 years. By then the earth will have covered it with, you know, pine needles, branches, and everything else, but it'll still be there. There's the chances of somebody getting the truck up here. I'm actually going to show you a clip as I'm going down out of here, how it's getting extremely hard to even get a truck up here without somebody rebuilding the road first, because there's about a third of the road has slipped down the mountainside. Oh man, I just lathered all the way up again. That's okay. I'm just using a flare tip. So let's do a quick fourth pass. I'll focus on cleanups. I just can't stand it. You know, there's, at least here in Oregon, I don't know about where you live, but here in Oregon, there's all kinds of assistance. If you need help paying your garbage bill, there's people who will help you with that, and there's actually programs for that. If you have a truckload of garbage here in Oregon, we have programs and people who are willing to help you get rid of your trash. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. If you don't have the means to do something, that's the beauty of this country, or at least the state that I live in, is that people are always willing to help you. There's never an excuse to drive all the way up an hour into the damn mountains and dump your mattresses, dump your paint cans, whatever the hell else your redneck ass decides to drive up into the woods and dump. So, with that, I'll step down off my soapbox. If it offends you that I think you're a douchebag for dumping garbage in the woods, good. You should go home and slap your mother for raising you that way too. Have I littered? Yeah, absolutely. I've never meant to, though. Not even when I was young. I was raised to respect the forest. In fact, I was raised to respect just about everything. Have I, always respected things? God, no. I was a little punk for years. But I didn't go around doing some of the things that people do. I wouldn't have been able to sleep with myself at night. If I was to do that today, it'd keep me up all night, and I'd be up here tomorrow morning cleaning it up. And I'm half tempted to find a way to try and get it out of here, but it won't be easy to get all that trash out of here in the amount of time that I have left before I leave tomorrow morning. And I can't even get my truck up here, like I was saying. I'm sure as hell not going to drive my truck over that embankment where everything's falling off. So, stepping down off my soapbox, I'm going to do a cleanup. Alright, I'm back. Give her a good shake. This is an all natural product, and it needs a good shaking. It smells so damn good. It really, really does. This is so awesome that I was sold on First Line immediately. Once before, years ago, and I've been trying to think of it, what it was that I tried. It was back when I first heard of first line starting to sprinkle. I can't remember what it was though. Part of me says it was something else with oud, but I don't know. So today's products, of course, was Sutton from First Line Shave. It's amazing. The fragrance, the slickness, everything about the base is exactly what you'd expect from a tier 1 company. Everything with the aftershave, the skin food, the post shave. My skin feels hydrated for hours. My skin feels amazing for hours. Just like you'd expect from a tier 1 soap company. The fragrance is out of this world. Out of this world. It really is. It's freaking amazing. The brush, made by Bobby. Bobby's my favorite small artisan. So I do have a bias. I do have a dog in the fight. But that's because Bobby's earned it. I got a large handful of Bobby brushes. Bobby is a lathe wizard. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Bobby Moffat is a wizard. A lathe wizard. Just like his son, Rob. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I've only got a couple of Rob's brushes, but yeah, the apple didn't fall far on that tree, did it? My collapsible bowl, I still have kind of collapsed. Was it accident? Yeah, so I thought. I had it like that because I noticed I was actually able to I did it a second ago when I was trying to create that extra lather after I, goofed there in the beginning. And I just didn't extend it out the rest of the way and I didn't realize it. Which I guess goes to show just how awesome that bowl really is. Tatra Platinum in my 1958 TV special. Date code is always a D on these because they're only made in 58 and I thought it was a 1. And so this is D1 first quarter. So it was among the first ever made. It's gorgeous. One of my favorite razors. Excuse me, original plating. Sun's starting to go down on me. Thanks for listening to my rant. My tantrum, if you will. Take care of yourself. Respect yourself. For God's sake, respect the forest. Until next time, thanks for watching. Dry shaving is up behind me. I'm walking down this old road, and you can see how it gets narrow right there. And that's because the road washed out. I'll get a little closer to it in a second. First, since there's no trees, there should be a forest here blocking my view, but it all went kaput. Way out in the distance there. Dang it. I'm trying to hold the phone steady, I'm sorry. Way out in the distance, that's the Sixes River. Right there. We were at the mouth of it when I was doing my shave. I just moved down a couple of feet. I could barely sneak my truck past here if I wanted to. But it's whether or not, how much longer this is going to hold. You can see right here, it's starting to give out right there. So, who knows how much longer this will hold, but it always just kind of ticks me off when I see that people have been doing illegal dumps in the forest. You can see the sprinkles, the mist. Thanks for joining me.